Good morning. We're gonna try and work through this binding thing, probably in sections, honey. I'm basting this on because the lady that's gonna make this into a pillow does not want the binding on it, and so I need to do it so that I can pick it out at the end of the video. The first thing I've done is I've left myself a 12-inch tail. That seems like an awful lot, but believe me, you're gonna want it. And I've pinned the first little section of my binding to the front of the quilt. Some people pin to the front and roll it to the back. Other people do it the reverse. It doesn't really matter. It just becomes a matter of personal preference to you. So we're going to start to sew this down, and we're going to get to the corner and we'll see where we go. Remember, you're going to want your walking foot on your machine for this. I hope you can see. I hope my big fat head is not in the way. But here we go. I'm also not going to tie down on my thread ends because, again, I'm going to want to pick this out. You're going to need pins. You'll need your little ruler thing. You're going to need something to mark with, pencil, and I usually have a pen handy. And here we go. Okay, here we are. We're coming up to our corner. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stop 1/4 of an inch from your corner. And so I usually put a pin like in that spot, just kind of stick it through the binding so that I know where to stop my needle. And this is tricky for me, so it may be tricky for you too. I'm always afraid I'm going to go 1 stitch too far or 1 stitch short. But I kind of think maybe I may be really close to being right on it. Now you can take and swivel. And this is the first time I've tried this method, so hopefully it works. And then just sew right off. Okay, then you want to take your binding and you want to flip it out like this. You want to get you a 90-degree angle, and I usually pin that down. So that it stays put. Oh, poke myself. And then you're going to want to fold it right back over on itself to where it is even with the outside of your binding. And then if you want to, you can use that same pin and pin that down so it doesn't travel on you. And then you're going to come in and turn your piece and you're going to start right at the very edge. And then you're going to sew. One thing I did do is when I went to do this is I trimmed the edges of this down to where I didn't have quite so much batting sticking out on the edges, because I'm not really concerned about how much batting is filling up my binding edge. So I trim it off because I find it more difficult to work with. So we're going to get down here a little ways and we're going to see what our corner looks like. So, yep, you've got a good corner. Can you see that? And so you can roll it back and then just keep on, do each of your corners that way. And if you have trouble knowing where you need to start sewing after you turn your corner, you can put a mark there on your fabric because it's going to turn and be on the inside anyway. So I'll go ahead and get this all basted on, and then I'll come back and I will show you how to do the join on your ends. Again, I left a 12-inch tail because you're going to need the room to join. I love you. Bye.